This video will focus on using CDA to examine two similar texts and their usability for their intended audience. This will be done using the primary segments of the home pages of FightMND and MND New South Wales. While both organisations work towards a similar goal, they have different outcomes, which is reflected in the presentation of information to their audiences. Both are considered multimodal forms of communication, and in order to be effective must consist of multiple communicative modes, such as layout, typography, and images, as well as verbal signals, which are not present in these texts. So what is CDA? Known as critical discourse analysis, it is concerned with the discourse as instrument of the social construction of reality, and using Fairclough's three-dimensional approach, we can examine the macro, meso, and micro levels of the text to determine their usability for the desired audience, with a focus on the macro and micro levels. Usability is referred to as the ease at which information can be consumed and understood, and can be split into the legibility, graphic elements, structure, and impression of a text. First, let's examine the microstructure of both institutions. On FightMND's homepage, the use of the navigational toolbar in the top centre allows users to easily navigate. The position and size of their logo on the page draws in the user, using salients to lead the eye to the lines of text underneath. The use of a blue colour scheme tied to this logo creates continuity throughout the page, while the yellow accents help draw attention to important links. Little imagery or diagrams are present, and instead rely on the emphasis of words through the use of bold, font changes, and colour change to draw in users. Different coloured text boxes signal new sections of the page, but the lack of clear, succinct headings makes it difficult to identify the topic. Rather than opting for a single word subheadings, the organisation emphasises certain sentences to draw attention to what the particular section is about. This reduces the ability for users to skim read the page to gather important information. Further down, we see the logo repeated again, alongside a list of places where merchandise can be purchased. While the list breaks up the information and makes it digestible, the lack of headings to identify its purpose reduces its effectiveness, while the large logo draws attention away from the potentially important information, despite the use of salient information being contained on the left. Comparatively, we can examine the homepage of MND New South Wales. As their focus is primarily on providing support and care to those impacted by MND, they utilise a more welcoming, informative approach. MND New South Wales uses a navigational toolbar in the top right corner, with their logo found only to the left. Above the navigation bar are links to contact details, as well as social media, establishing them as an approachable organisation. They use images to divide the immediate homepage into three subsections: services for people with MND, events, and access to equipment. Subheadings are found below, accompanied by another set of images. The text is centered on the page and is broken up into columns. Furthermore, they use the text to welcome individuals to the page and explain what they do as an organisation. The colour scheme is minimal, with only small accents of blue throughout the page, and as a result can appear less intriguing to users at first glance. However, it is vital to consider audience when examining usability, as well as the implications it could have for the organisation or institutions in a similar area. This would be encompassed in the macro structure. FightMND has a targeted approach towards their event, with a focus on gaining donations through their public fundraising event, aimed towards an audience less likely to Google this organisation. As a result, the colour and layout of the website are aimed towards drawing attention if anybody does happen to look them up. In comparison, those seeking information on the MND New South Wales website are much more likely to be seeking support due to a recent diagnosis of themselves or a family member, and the website caters by offering advice and a means of contact. As a result, the layout is simple and welcoming. As such, the different approaches work effectively in this case, as the layout, use of images, and text choice clearly identify the key aspects of both organisations. By analysing the different approaches to the usability of a website, it allows information designers and institutions to cater to the needs of their users and attract attention from their audience, using either images or logos, salient text and different layouts can allow a different interpretation to be formed, optimizing usability for specific audiences rather than creating a generalized template for success.